is a Citation jet that we coated 31 months ago. And as you can see, it's water once, and that was due to procedures at a maintenance facility, I guess.
That's correct.
All we've ever done is rinsed it with water, and we'll show you that here in a little bit.
I'm absolutely amazed as the pilot of this airplane, after 2.5 years with this old paint job, how it's restored it to luster, and the performance of the airplane clearly has improved. But the main thing I guess I'd like to show you today is when we put some water on it, what the water does after 2.5 years on the entire aircraft. It's just amazing, absolutely amazing. Doug, do you have any thoughts for that?
Yeah, the icing characteristics, does that remain the same?
Absolutely. If you'll take a look after I speak to you on the leading edges, I recently again had a trip out to Idaho where we encountered ice, and what happens is the ice, in this case it was rime ice, built up with a little bit of rime ice. It builds up, but then I don't even have to turn the boots on because nothing has adhered to the leading edge boots. It builds up and then it breaks off all by itself. So I haven't even had to use the boots, which is just amazing. And you can see the luster on the boots. The Ceramlock has saved, I don't want to use the word restore, but it certainly has stopped the degradation on the boots, which are horribly expensive. But the main thing is nothing builds up on the boots anymore. A little bit of ice builds up, can't adhere, breaks off, gone.
All right, go ahead.
As you can see, we have not touched the aluminum, the leading edge here, or the intake. It's been that way for 2 3/4 years, and normally I think they have to repolish these if they're unprotected about every 4 months. So again, there's another nice savings. So I'll go turn the water on, and I'll let Randy rinse it off, and you can see how the water acts.
Okay, we're out here at the aircraft 2.5 years. Here's what water does to it after 2.5 years. Just absolutely nothing sticks to it. This is why we've increased the performance on the airplane, but also you can see nothing sticks. And this is why the ice has not stuck to the leading edges. You can see how the water beads. Doug, what is the technical term for what the water is doing, or the ceramic?
Well, this is a hydrophobic surface, which means it hates water. The other surfaces would be called hydrophilic, which means it loves water. That's why on an unprotected paint job you'll see water sheeting off.
Understand.
And part of the key with this is due to the nanotechnology, we have no porosity in this coating at all, or permeability.
And this is on how thick again, Doug, just for the folks on to hear that?
About 5 microns thick, or in layman's terms about 1/5 the thickness of saran wrap.
And you can see I've got roughly 200 plus hours on the airplane in a little over 2.5 years, and you can see exactly what it's doing. I mean, it's doesn't matter what we say, here's the end result.
Go ahead.
And here's the empennage section, just so you can see up here on the vertical stabilizer and on the rear of the fuselage. You can see it. Nothing sticks. This is why the aircraft has remained clean, but also why we're picking up performance.
And this has never been waxed, correct?
Never been touched. Has not been touched in 2.5 years.
It's only been washed with soap and water once, I think.
Correct, that is correct, exactly. And that was because of maintenance.
And how often, if this wasn't done with Ceramlock, how often would it have to be waxed?
Well, it depends on how long you want to keep the paint job. But in the case of the polished areas, every 3 to 4 months we polish them, which is very expensive, gets the airplane dirty. But I would probably wax the airplane at least every 6 months.
Put your finger in there like we did before, so you can maybe show us that.
Okay.
It just shows how it sealed up the porosity of the
paint and the boot.
Now, how long's this boot had it on it?
2.5 years.
Did you have to recoat it once?
I recoated it one time. After it sat for a year, the product adheres to itself. So what I went through, over the 200 plus hours, I went through extremely heavy rain, a lot of sleet, ice, snow, and eventually I just did the boot over again. It adhered to itself a year later, and you see how it is now again.
That's all right. That's all right.
Here we're shooting into the sunlight so you can get a better visual perspective.